Hello and welcome to the Musical Instrument Investigator. Today we're on the website of French auction portal Intershare. We're going to have a look at one of the latest auctions from Vichy Auctions, one of the big French auction houses. They usually have quite a few auctions a year. This seems to be one of the lower level auctions. Looks like lots of bowed stringed instruments, 116 lots on this, so nothing too crazy. 24%, that's a buyer's premium, the bit that you pay on top of the final hammer price. If anyone's seen my last video, you'll see that Intershare now has this weird warning which doesn't go away if you're trying to translate. My French is not quite good enough to work out all of the descriptions, so unfortunately we'll have this orange blob here for a bit until I force myself to learn French a bit better, but it is just what it is. As I usually say, my usual stuff, this is a French based auction, so if you are looking to buy something and you're outside of France, then bear in mind shipping fees and import export, maybe some CITES restrictions as well. All of that kind of fun stuff. And just to say, this auction is happening on May the 3rd. It's the 2nd today, so it's going live tomorrow, so not that long left. Unfortunately, I've left this one a little bit late. I do apologise, but let's just get on with it and see what we have, really, see if there's anything interesting going on. So first of all, a lot of 2 violins, half-size Miracle from the JTL workshop and something else. Quite nice back on that. We don't want to get too kind of deep into it. Another kind of half-size in that, because like I said, a lot of this stuff is very kind of tradey. So a lot of 2 violins here. Let's just entertain it for the moment. So it looks like some 3/4 stuff, nothing too exciting. 3/4 Miracle, we could ignore that for now. Another 3/4 Miracle, half-size stuff. Let's have a look at this JTL violin, 3 pictures. Unfortunately, we've got this annoying bar here. It's actually painted flames on that, but looks quite striking. So it's unfortunate about this. I really don't understand what they're trying to achieve by doing that. Yeah, okay, translations are potentially bad somehow, but kind of if you're gonna bid on something from outside of France, you might want a translator, so it's just bad for business. Anyway, Miracle violin. We will just blitz through this auction, I think, because it's nothing too crazy. More Miracle stuff here. Let's have a look at this early 20th century. Looks very standard. Like, I'm not expecting anything particularly great from this auction, but maybe there'll be some curious stuff. Miracle violin here, French 3/4 with painted inked purfling there. Miracle violin here, half size 20th century German. Let's have a look. Not to say that the auction houses are always right in what they attribute things to, but Vichy do have a lot of experience. Another half size here. Violin made in the Schuster workshop as an experimental model. Okay, this looks like one of these ones, the Rig Art Rubus ones with the kind of rounded edges with the kind of Russian labelling. Some people seem to quite like them. The folk players say that they're pretty good, so it's interesting. Another Miracle violin here. And another Miracle. More Miracle violins here. Another Miracle. 3/4. Half size. 20th century. Eastern Europe. So far, quite like the scroll on that, but so far it's all fairly standard. Another German violin here. 20th century. I don't think we're going to see anything too crazy. A lot of 2 violins, early 20th century, damaged. Yeah, looks like they're in a bit of trouble there. We're not seeing anything too crazy so far. More lots of 2 violins, 20th century Miracle, the Guarnerius label. It's all fairly standard so far. More 20th century JTL. Let's look at another Miracle one with the Coletto label. Not seeing anything too crazy. Half size here. The good auctions are going to be in June, so we're still kind of fighting our way through to June at the moment. A half size here. Let's have a look at that. It's quite dark photos. That. More half size, 20th century. More half size here. 3/4, some 3/4, more Mircore. This is all very, very samey, half size. A lot of fractional violins in this sale. 3/4 again. Violin Mircore. Looks like the varnish has been removed, so not good there. €60 starting price. It's all pretty bottom tier stuff. Another Mircore violin. Some 3/4 stuff here. Another JTL. I think that's all we're gonna really get in this auction is kind of trade stuff, Mircore stuff, German. Usually we get something interesting, like one German violin in bits or something that's curious, but I'm not thinking that we're going to get anything in this auction. It is really pretty low tier stuff there. 3/4 stuff, 20th century. I mean, good project for luthiers who want to practice repairs and things. Let's have a look at this French provincial violin. This is a bit better. €130 on this. That's okay. That's an interesting, more interesting one. €130 current bid. Oh, they show the current bids now. Okay, that's interesting. Slightly different to what they did before. Estimate 100. So it looks like they've upgraded something in their auction portal services here. So that's curious. Violin, early 20th century. That was the most interesting violin so far. €80 on this. Okay, that's not too bad. So we're getting slightly better now. More Mircore violins here. Let's see, Mircore violin, German violin, 20th century, cracks on the table. Fairly standard stuff there. Another German violin here. Ooh, pretty standard German violin there. Two violins, Mircore, 3/4 violin there, JTL. Industrial violin, bearing the Dvorak label. Yeah, that's pretty modern trade violin there. Another JTL. Some funky F holes there, slightly odd. More JTL stuff here. German violin, late 19th century. Okay, 3/64 length of back there. It seems fairly long for a German violin. Lot of two violins, early 20th century, and a 3/4 German. Yeah, very standard kind of trade stuff there. Let's go past that. 20th century violin with a Bergonzi label. €150 current bid, in a bit of a state there. I wonder if we're going to see any bows in this auction. Potentially not. More kind of early 20th century stuff. German violin, 20th century. Let's have a look at this. 200, the current bid, popular. It's got a genie kind of scroll there. Looks like very typical 19th century kind of trade stuff. Let's see what else. I'm sure I'm going to miss something here, but you just got a blitz there. German violin, Klingenthal. So 19th century. Looks fairly standard. It's quite annoying that we're losing the button in the way that these pictures are laid out. But I don't think there's anything too crazy to see, to be honest. It's all lots of the same Mircore stuff. Let's have a look at this. It's slightly different shape. It's got interesting arching on this one. You can see it's quite a bit more scooped there than some of the other supposed Mircore violins. Modern industrial violin there. Very low quality kind of thing. Mircore. Lot of two violins and one completely disassembled. Okay. Interesting, a bit of a project for someone there. €30 the current bid. Miniature violin there. A few more kind of standard violins. JTL stuff here, more Mircore. It's another Mircore violin. Pretty standard. Let's see, Mircore violin by J. Chalard in Toulouse. That's a bit of an interesting model there. Interesting F-hole spaces, but well, if nothing else, it's a bit more interesting than a lot of the other stuff we've seen, to be fair. Half-size Miracle, 20th century violin. It's another, something from the eastern countries. That's a very low quality instrument there. More Miracle stuff. German. More Miracle. More Miracle. Let's have a look at here. Half-size German school violin, cracks on the table. All pretty standard. So, well, there we go. That's the Vichy kind of budget auction completely done. In all honesty, very little of interest. A few things here and there may be good for students or luthiers that want to do a bit of kind of practicing. I couldn't see anything from that very brief overview of interest personally, but if you look a bit harder, look through the listings a couple of times, it's always wise to go over things a few times. You might well see something. For me, very little of interest in that, but good to look over the auctions anyway, because you never know what you will find. Shame about this kind of weird warning thing coming from Interon shares. Hopefully that gets removed at some point. But anyway, brief little overview here of this auction happening tomorrow. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you next time. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Bye. Many thanks for tuning in to the Musical Instrument Investigator. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please like, subscribe and turn on notifications, and watch out for the next video coming soon.